Hello and welcome back to Keeping Tabs. I'm your host Tabitha, aka Tabs, and this is your spot for sports, WWE, and pop culture buzz. Let's hop into episode 3. Alrighty guys, like I said, welcome back to Keeping Tabs. Episode 3 is finally here. I'm sorry we were having some technical difficulties, but we are back and ready to keep tabs with you guys. Alright everyone, as you know, we've been keeping tabs on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and season 5 finale just dropped the other night, and it was incredible. Super juicy, super drama filled. So let's dive right into it. Obviously, in the season, there's been a lot of tension building up. There's been lots of fights. Relationships have been tested. Everybody has just been going at everyone. And this group has just completely been divided. And honestly, the future of this specific cast is very much in question. But jumping into the episode, Heather decided to throw a Lisa-themed luncheon, which I thought was amazing and hilarious. I instantly texted my best friend and was like, birthday ? Like, that is such a good birthday, like, kind of idea, in my opinion, if you're a Bravo fan, obviously. But Lisa Barlow, Queen Lisa, baby gorgeous, we knew you loved it. You really thought it was all about you until you realized that, you know, somebody like Whitney was just really trying to make fun of you. And it was a perfect opportunity just to throw digs at you and basically be a bitch straight to your face while pretending to be you. So I thought it was hilarious, but it obviously led to a very emotional ending there where Lisa just got a little too upset. So Heather's dinner game, obviously we have to talk about the text messages. This is the whole episode right here. This text message game that Heather brought in for everyone. This is where Heather, I think, really saves her job. And this is why I said this is where Whitney saves her job later. I mean, Brittany, girl, I thought you were trying to be a full-time cast member, and what you did, the text you gave to Mary, I'd rather invite Brodwin over instead of Mary. That was the text, right? I mean, that was just stupid. Girl, you were really fighting to be a full-time cast member, and you brought that to the table, seriously? Like, girl, you're lucky to even be at the reunion anymore. The text Angie K wrote about Brodwin was just absolutely diabolical, unhinged, whatever word you want to use. That shit was absolutely insane. Mary, obviously, she's can be a little bit of a bitch too. I mean, dude, the whole night was just absolutely insane. And then we come to Whitney Rose and her text about Lisa Barlow. They had already gotten into it earlier earlier in the episode with the luncheon and all that stuff. Honestly, what is this group doing, dude? It kind of feels like this whole group has just fell apart. It's really like, you can't even, like, I mean, if you watch the after show like I do, the pairings are weird because it's like, well, you can't put him with anybody else because everyone hates each other. Everyone has been fighting for so long. And it's just nobody, like, Lisa Barlow's with Brittany in the after show pairing. That's weird to me. That shouldn't be happening. But it is because everyone hates each other. Whitney admitting to that she actually reached out to Monica was the cherry on top of everything. Obviously, everyone was going to have an opinion about that because of how bad Monica kind of stung everyone last year. I mean, what Monica did was absolutely insane, but at the same time, it's like, if you're a real Salt Lake City fan, you know those women who were interacting with that page, they were doing just as much as Monica. Monica was just a little bit smarter than them and kind of used a fake Instagram. Like, whatever, dude. These women are just as bad. They talk just as much behind each other's backs. It is what it is, you know what I mean? But the reunion is about to be spicy. That's all I know. But yeah, definitely as season 5 concluded, the future of the housewives relationships definitely remain uncertain. We got a sneak peek of the reunion. You see Andy Cohen at the beginning is getting a safe word from Angie K and Lisa Barlow. I'm sure we're going to hear Bezos and Oprah tons of times. But key discussions and conversations that we know the reunion is going to be covering, obviously Brodwin and Lisa Barlow. I mean, it seems that, once we get introduced to Brodwin, that her and Lisa have been friends for years and years and years, but by the way they treat each other, they don't seem like they like each other. They don't seem like they were friends. Like, they're paid friends is what it seems like, in my opinion. Then, obviously, Meredith Marks and Angie have their flaws and their fights again. they've been going, 3 seasons straight of having issues, basically. But I hope they can resolve something. I do like Meredith and hope she stays, but some of the way they cut those reunion previews or, cut those kind of episode previews to really entice you to watch it is like, shit, is Meredith going to walk out and leave? Because that's the way I felt sometimes. So I really hope Meredith doesn't leave, though, because I absolutely love her. She's just so iconic. Like I said in my last episode, I really want to do a Bravo-themed episode of iconic sayings from some of the housewives or like some of the Vanderpump people that I really love. So that Meredith will definitely be on that list. But of course, we got to talk about, they're going to talk about Whitney Rose and all that stuff with Lisa earlier in the season. We'll talk about, Mary, what's up with Robert. And, Mary and Angie had a little bit of a scuff there at the end. So hopefully that's cleared up. But Heather, I feel like, is not going to be involved in this reunion. At first, I didn't think Heather would be involved in the reunion as much, but now that she saved her job in that last episode by bringing that little text game up, I think she'll be heavily more involved. But I'm excited. It's definitely going to be a nice 3-parter, and we'll just have to wait and see. So I'm super, super excited. Obviously, we're going to get some parts with the husbands as well, which is always good. And you saw Todd be like, no, you shut up, or you watch the way you're talking, whatever he said. So I'm interested to see what happens. All right, everyone. Segment 2. We're keeping tabs on the NFL and the playoffs. Divisional round just wrapped up this past Sunday. And surprised, not surprised on some of these games. I missed on all my picks for this weekend. But let's talk about it. So, obviously, we got to talk Chiefs beating the Texans. Man, oh man, I heard a lot of shit over the last few days. A lot of stuff on the internet over the last few days about the Chiefs and the ref situation. If you're an NFL fan, you know the Chiefs are the Chiefs. They have had some sticky situations with the refs, it seems, in the last few years, and Saturday was no different. Personally, I missed the first half of the game because I was working. But seeing the second half, yeah, I agree. The Chiefs, all right, Patrick Mahomes, you need to go in the NBA or go play some soccer, go flop somewhere else because that does not belong in the NFL, dude. And I'm so sick and tired of the Chiefs getting special treatment. The refs absolutely love them and just glaze them all day long. And it's like, come on, dude. No other team gets the special treatment that the Chiefs does, and I don't know what it is. Is it the Taylor Swift black magic? I don't get it, but Chiefs, what did they say, 7 straight AFC championship game that they're going to be, and they're hosting, of course. All right, now, of course, talking about Bills and Ravens, since that's on the other side of the AFC. Chiefs and Bills in the AFC championship. Bills fought a great game. I mean, the Ravens didn't really look like the Ravens, in my opinion. Bills' defense was really on that one. Josh Allen, still doing MVP Josh Allen-like things. It was a great game. I'm happy that at least one of those AFC matchups was good. That could have easily been one of the best games of the year. I was struggling on who I was going to pick. I rode with the Ravens. Personally, I had Lamar Jackson on my fantasy team, so I really rode with the Ravens there. But Bills versus Chiefs in Arrowhead for the AFC Championship. Y'all know I hate the Chiefs. So, Bills all day, Bills Mafia. Josh Allen, please. Please, Josh Allen. Please, bro. Everyone in America is with you. This happens every single year. Everyone in America is with you, Josh Allen. Please. Haley Steinfeld, treat your man right for this next couple, week or so. Give him extra massages. Give him, whatever. Make him feel good. Boost his confidence. We need the Bills to beat the Chiefs. Please, please, please. They cannot three-peat. And then on the NFC side of things, Saturday we had maybe the upset of the year or maybe just the upset of the playoffs, but Commanders beating the Lions. That was not on my bingo card. I surely thought the Lions were almost guaranteed to be in the Super Bowl. In my mind, for some reason, I thought the Lions were in the Super Bowl already, and I could not believe that they lost that way. But Jaden Daniels, how many coming out parties is this kid going to have this year? He's been on a roll. Rookie of the year, 1,000%. If y'all thought CJ Stroud had an incredible rookie year last year, Jaden Daniels is doing even better, dude. He just beat the number 1 team in the NFC at home, in their home field, who we all know the Lions have had the most insane home field advantage in the last, recent times. But the Commanders getting it done, dude, that was a big shock. But hats off to Jaden Daniels and all the coaches out there for Washington Commanders, dude. They have really turned that franchise around. And Jaden Daniels is the key for them. On the other side of the NFC, Eagles beating the Rams. Rams try to make it interesting there at the ending, but couldn't get the job done. The Eagles' defense really was the difference there in that game, in my opinion. So we're going to get the Eagles hosting the Commanders in the NFC Championship, which should be, honestly, that should be an interesting matchup. But I've seen a lot of people online recently saying the Super Bowl they want, Bills, Commanders. I'm here for it. Bills, Commanders, I'm here for it, dude. You got Josh Allen, Jaden Daniels. I could be here for it, Eagles, this could be a tough team to pick against because, again, I think the Eagles is the only team I picked correctly. Yeah, that is. Actually, I think I really did pick the Chiefs, but I think I only did that out of spite because I wanted them to lose. Anyways, but yeah, Eagles, Commanders should be a great matchup. Honestly, both of these games should be great matchups, hopefully. That's all I ask for at the end of the day. I know I say I hate the Chiefs, whatever, but at the end of the day, I just want good football. I want to enjoy, my games on Sunday. I want to enjoy these last few games of the NFL because now we're not going to have NFL until, September. So let's enjoy it when we last. Conference Championship Sunday, January 26th. Let's go ahead and give our picks. I'm taking the Bills, and then I'm going to take the Eagles. Bills, Eagles, Super Bowl. Let's go. Alrighty, guys. Last little bit of episode 3 is going to be all about WWE. Let's get into it. Alright, guys. So we're going to be talking about Monday Night Raw from January 20th. Jey Uso starting off the night for us. If you've been here before, I'm a huge Jey Uso fan. I'm really excited for his match against Gunther at Saturday Night Main Event, which we'll be talking more about Saturday Night Main Event and that kind of card and what it looking like a little bit later in the episode, but focusing on Monday Night Raw, obviously, like I said. But yeah, Jey Uso kicking the thing off. Gunther obviously comes out, confronts them, trying to add a little bit of tension, draw some more drama and attention to that match that's coming up this Saturday. Again, I really think that Jey deserves to be world champ, but I think Gunther's going to retain on Saturday. But we're just going to have to wait and see. So we had Rey Mysterio versus Kofi Kingston. I'm getting confused, man, because it keeps saying New Day. It said New Day in action, so I'm expecting New Day tag match, right? Which, it could have been Rey versus one of the LWO guys, but it was just Rey versus Kofi, which Rey got the win over Kofi, which obviously New Day is heel now, so they had a little crash out there at the end. LWO had to come and try to save Rey. Heel New Day, a little bit smarter than we think they are. They got a little fast one over on the LWO there, but I don't know. I'm kind of I don't know where they're going with the New Day. I love the heel turn. It's been great, but there's no direction. I don't know what's going on there, and quite frankly, I'm just not really as interested anymore. So next we had Sami Zayn coming out and declaring for the Royal Rumble, talking about how he doesn't necessarily need a WWE championship or a world title, but he wants a world title. And I'm a Sami Zayn fan. I love Sami Zayn. Same with Jey Uso. I think either of them becoming a world champ this year or next year is definitely in the cards, maybe even potentially both of them at one point. So after Sami declares for the Royal Rumble, surprise, surprise, Kevin Owens on Monday Night Raw. I was quite surprised to see KO come out. Of course, I love how KO is still just carrying that belt around, heckling all of us with the wing angle. It's so funny to me. But what he had to say was quite interesting, honestly, if you think about it. If they have each other's backs at the Royal Rumble, Sami could win the whole Royal Rumble, and then if he helps KO beat Cody, it could be them two main eventing WrestleMania one-on-one against each other, which they've obviously were talking about, as they were coming up in the indies and coming into WWE because they're in their real life best friends. So that could definitely be interesting. I saw somebody with a really good theory on that for next year, going into next year, because the Royal Rumble is going to be in Saudi in 2026. So I could see that being a next year thing, but I love the little sprinkle, the little seed planting early from Triple H, because we all know Triple H is long story. He loves to tell that long-term storytelling. So that could be very, very interesting going forward. All right, next we had Bayley versus Nia Jax, which if you didn't see or hear, Bayley is officially signed back with the Monday Night roster, which in my opinion, I'm assuming Nia Jax is also going to be going to Monday Night Raw, but I don't know. During the match, we had Roxanne in the crowd, and her and Bayley got into it once again because if you didn't see last week on NXT, Bayley showed up, her and Roxanne got into it, couple slaps exchanged. And this is definitely going to be segueing Roxanne to probably into the Royal Rumble and then also into the main roster. And with Bayley going to Raw, I see Roxanne stepping right into Raw, which would be a great place for her. I think Roxanne can thrive on Monday Night Raw. It's going to be a great place for her. She's definitely in need to step into the main roster. She's done what she needs to do in NXT. It's time for her to go up into the main roster. Lyra Valkyria is there with the IC title. That's a perfect spot for her. But we'll see what happens there. But back to the match. Nia beats Bayley once again. Rhea Ripley comes out to attack Nia because as Monday Night Raw was starting, Nia attacked Rhea. Obviously going to set their match up for Saturday night main event, which became official later in the night. So that's why I think Nia also potentially might be going to Monday Night Raw, is because all right, now you got her in a title match against the world champion who is on Monday Night Raw in Rhea Ripley. So I don't know what's going to happen there, but very interesting. The women's division is definitely looking a lot better on Monday Night Raw now. Alrighty, and then we had Penta having his second match on Monday Night Raw. Penta's debut last week was just absolutely incredible. The theme, the entrance, the pyro, the presentation. I'm a huge fan of him already, and I've only seen 2 matches of his now. But I'm super excited to see what they do with him moving forward. But Penta versus Pete Dunne, great match, just like last week when he fought Chad Gable. Great technical wrestlers in the ring. What an incredible match that was. I'm a huge fan. Like I said, I'm excited to see what they do with him in the future. And then moving on, we had Logan Paul with a promo because we know Logan Paul has been moved to Monday Night Raw. Hasn't physically been there yet, but it was announced he will be there next week in Atlanta. Personally, not a big fan of him. It's really the fact that, are we going to get a full-time Logan Paul? Because if he's a full-time WWE superstar and he's there every single week, and I mean every week, there could be some really good stuff that he could do. He's a phenomenal wrestler. He's phenomenal in the ring. He's a phenomenal athlete. He can act. He can do all the promos. He can talk on the mic. He can do everything a WWE wrestler and superstar needs to do. I mean, he's already held a title in WWE. But, dude, I need you there every week or I'm not going to appreciate you as much. That's the exact reason why a lot of people didn't like Roman for a while, because once he held that title for X amount of time, he was there once a month. Then it was once every 3 months. Then it was like, okay, it's WrestleMania season. Roman needs to come back and start doing some stuff. So that's why I personally don't like Logan as much. But if he's there every week, I mean, I might start liking the dude. But he's a great wrestler, so we'll just have to see. And then we had a CM Punk promo with Jackie Redmond in the crowd. Absolutely love CM Punk. If you've been here before, I'm a CM Punk fan. My personal pick to win the Royal Rumble. But yeah, he was talking about the Royal Rumble and all the different people that are already committed to the Royal Rumble, which I'm going to be making a full YouTube video on predictions about the Royal Rumble and the potentials that could happen for the coming Rumble that's going to be happening on February 1st. So make sure to stay tuned and see when that drops. But yeah, CM Punk obviously talking trash about everyone. I don't care what that man's saying. I'm going to listen because I just absolutely love him. He, again, is my personal pick to win this year's Royal Rumble. And then going into our main event of the night, we had Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre in a rematch from WrestleMania 40, which, banger of a match. Let's just start there. I knew this match was going to be awesome. The WrestleMania match wasn't as long as a lot of people probably wanted, but Seth was so done with his knee. Storytelling-wise, the match was awesome that they had at WrestleMania 40, but this time they finally get to have a lot more physical match, a lot more lengthy match. But tensions with them have been building for weeks now, obviously, and their story fell straight off after WrestleMania last year, so they kind of picked it up in a good way, and I'm enjoying it. But Seth gets the roll-up win, so on their last 2 matches, 1-1. Could we get a third one maybe, potentially? I don't know. But Seth gets the roll-up win. Drew has a mini crash out per usual. And then we get Sami Zayn coming out to actually save Seth. So triple threat coming up. So another good ending to Monday Night Raw. I've been loving the Netflix era, and I'm super excited to see what's going forward. But we also found out this today, actually, that Cody is going to be at Raw next week in Atlanta, his home state, hometown. You know, we're expecting that. So we're going to go ahead and talk briefly about Saturday night main event and the card that we already have announced. So let's get into it. Jay versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight title, Saturday night main event. Honestly, guys, I've said it before. I think Gunther's going to retain here. I would be extremely shocked if Jay won. Even though I really want Jay to win and I want him to be a world champion at some point this year, I just don't see it happening. I don't see Gunther losing the title unless it's at Mania or maybe even after. But we'll just have to wait and see. Next, we got Braun Breaker versus Sheamus for the Intercontinental Championship. I honestly have Braun Breaker winning here. I think his second title reign with the IC title is going to be a lot longer, at least until WrestleMania, probably longer than that. I really do want Sheamus to win the IC title at some point versus Sheamus. I'm picking Braun, like I said. And then we got Braun Strowman versus Jacob Fatu, Monster versus Samoan Werewolf. I'm going to pick Jacob Fatu. They're definitely pushing him to the moon. He's going to be big time in future. I really hope he's in the Royal Rumble as well. That would be a good spot to have him in, but I'm definitely going to pick Fatu here. Cody and KO are going to be having a contract signing at Saturday night main event with Shawn Michaels as a special guest. This is a little random in my opinion, but I guess that Nick Aldis said there's a special stipulation in the contract that they both need to sign and have approval over. So I think it's just filling some TV screen time there, but I guess we'll see what happens. And then last night we had it made official, Rhea versus Nia Jax for the women's world title. I'm picking Mommy here. I don't think she's dropping the title anytime soon because she just got it back. But this should be a pretty good match. Honestly, Nia's been doing so much better this second run in WWE. Even last year at Elimination Chamber when it was her and Rhea, that match wasn't too bad, but I think they can build on that match and make this next match coming up very interesting. And again, I think Nia's going to be coming over to Raw. So you have Nia, Rhea, Liv Morgan, Bayley, a returning Becky Lynch potentially, maybe Roxanne Perez coming up. Like, there's going to be a lot of new faces on Monday Night Raw, and I'm super excited for the women's division. But again, I got Rhea Ripley retaining. Thank you guys for tuning in and keeping tabs with your girl, keeping tabs. Make sure that you stick around and tune in for episode 4, and make sure to follow me on my other social media platforms. I've got Instagram, TikTok, X, Spotify, YouTube, all of that great stuff. So keep tabs with your girl.